Whenever I talk to people about Disney Genie Plus, they all tend to end up asking the same two things. Number one, is it worth it? And number two, what is stacking, or how do I stack Genie Plus Lightning Lane reservations? Well, while I can't advise you as to if Genie Plus is going to be worth it for you, that's just something you're just going to have to work out on your own, I can give you an explanation of what stacking is and how it works to help you get the most out of your Genie Plus day. But before we get into all that, I do want to point out I posted a video a couple of weeks ago on this channel which gives a pretty good explanation of what exactly Disney Genie and Genie Plus system is and the role it will play in a trip to Walt Disney World in 2022. If you haven't seen that yet, I do strongly suggest that you pause this video, go watch that one, and then come back over here. Otherwise, some of the things we talk about here may not make a lot of sense to you. All right then, so what is stacking? Well, when we talk about stacking, we are of course referring to Genie Plus Lightning Lane reservations that are held throughout your day, and the stacking refers to the practice of having 2, 3, 4, 5 or even more Disney Genie Plus Lightning Lanes stacked almost on top of each other sometime in the future, in some cases actually overlapping times. As you can see here, we've got 5 rides stacked at Hollywood Studios over the space of just a few hours. Now, for those who remember the old Fast Pass Plus, this is something that just could never have happened. So this is going to feel new and exciting to you, and it should, because it's actually the best part of Genie Plus. But wait, I hear you say, I thought you said in your other video that you could only have one Genie Plus reservation at a time. Well, that is true to a point, but this is where the 120-minute rule comes into play. You see, once 120 minutes have elapsed, you are able to make another Genie Plus reservation, even though you have not tapped into the reservation you already hold. So, for example, you're at Magic Kingdom and it's 10 AM. You book a Lightning Lane for Jungle Cruise for 4 PM, so at 12 PM, which is 2 hours later, 120-minute rule, you can go ahead and make another Lightning Lane reservation, even though you haven't used your 4 PM reservation for Jungle Cruise yet. Let's say for Pirates of the Caribbean, and you can make it for any time in the future, including the exact same time as your Jungle Cruise reservation. Crazy, right? Then, as soon as you have either tapped into your last reservation, in this case Pirates of the Caribbean, or 120 minutes have passed, you can go ahead and make another reservation. Awesome! Now you can continue like this all day long, but this isn't really stacking. This is kind of, think of this as stacking light. For the full fat stacking experience, you have to really utilize that 120-minute rule, and honestly, it is definitely geared up for people who like a ride-filled afternoon, where perhaps you are planning a later start to the theme parks, or you want to take in some shows, etc. in the morning before blitzing through rides later on in the day. I'll give you an example. I'm tired. I've been in Florida for a week already, and I've covered around 1 million miles walking. I need my beauty sleep and a little bit of pool time before I'm ready to head back over to the Magic Kingdom today. Well, this is where you can really go ham with the stacking. I do want to issue a quick word of warning for this strategy I'm about to talk about, however, because while a little later start can actually work to your advantage when stacking rides, please be aware that certain attractions at some parks will be sold out if you wait too long. I'm looking at you, Slinky Dog Dash, for example, at Hollywood Studios. That will for sure be gone if you don't book that first thing, so please bear that in mind. But for our example, we're going to Magic Kingdom, so we should be completely fine. So for our example, let's say I lie in and I wake up at 8 AM. Now, the first thing I'm going to do when I wake up at 8 is I'm going to log into my Disney Genie Plus app, and I'm going to make my first reservation for the day. Now, the trick here is to pick something that I know is popular, that I would like to do, and has a later return time. So for our fictitious example, I'm going to pick Peter Pan's flight, and I get a return time of 5 PM. Awesome, let's lock that in. So we've got 5 PM booked for Peter Pan's flight, and that's in there, guaranteed. Now, all we have to do is wait 120 minutes after the park opening time. So for our visit here, our fictitious visit, the park opening time was 9 AM to make another reservation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to enjoy a relaxing breakfast, sit by the pool, just chill out, and then at 11 AM, I'm going to head back to the app and book another popular attraction for later that day. Let's say Jungle Cruise, because that does tend to book up later in the day. I managed to get a reservation for 5:30 PM. Perfect. So now you can see I've got Jungle Cruise and Peter Pan's flight stacked and ready to go for this evening, but it doesn't end there. You can literally carry on like this as long as you use that 120-minute rule, and there are rides available to book. So in my example, I'm going to wait till 1 PM, and then I can book my next attraction, and boom, Big Thunder Mountain for 7 PM. That'll do. That's great. It now means I've got 3 rides stacked in this evening, and maybe like a 90-minute gap where I could perhaps grab some food or whatever, which is pretty good. So now I'm going to be setting off for my visit to Magic Kingdom. I get to the Magic Kingdom around 2 p.m, so I still have to wait another 1 hour or 60 minutes before making another reservation. So maybe I'll look for some rides with lower wait times to ride now, or perhaps taking a show or browse the shops. And then at 3 p.m, I can go ahead and I can make another reservation. So I grab Space Mountain for 8:30. So now let's take a look at our stack. We've got 4 rides stacked in at Magic Kingdom. We've got Peter Pan's Flight at 5 p.m, Jungle Cruise at 5:30, Big Thunder Mountain at 7 p.m, and Space Mountain at 8:30 p.m. Now, I'm next eligible to book a Lightning Lane reservation at 5 p.m, which also happens to be the time I can start to use my stack if I want to. But what I think we'll do is I think we're going to wait till just after 5, and then we'll book at least one more Lightning Lane for our stack. We managed to grab Haunted Mansion for 9 p.m, so our final stack is going to look like this. 5 p.m. Peter Pan's Flight, 5:30 Jungle Cruise, 7 p.m. Big Thunder Mountain, 8:30 Space Mountain, 9 p.m. Haunted Mansion. Pretty good. Lots of stuff there guaranteed for low or no wait. Now let's go all over the period of like 4 hours between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. Now there are a couple of little gaps in there which, as I mentioned earlier, perfect for grabbing dinner or perhaps riding other attractions with lower wait time. So that's fine. You'll fill your time up, no problem at all. Now after you have tapped into that last reservation, which in this case is Haunted Mansion at 9 p.m, you can just start mopping up all the book now, ride now type Lightning Lanes until the park closes at 11 p.m. And you'll be surprised at how many attractions are still available at this time, especially from the less popular categories. But if you really want to get stuff done, you can actually use park hopping. Now this is going to work much of the same way as the relaxing start method, only you're not relaxing. You're going to be rope dropping either say Animal Kingdom or Epcot, I would recommend, while stacking Genie Plus reservations for like Hollywood Studios or Magic Kingdom later in the day. This can be a way to really knock some rides down in a single day. Let's say you start at Animal Kingdom and you rope drop Flight of Passage or Kilimanjaro Safari. Then you knock out Everest or Dinosaur early doors, so you should have very low wait times for those, and there's a single rider line in the case of Everest. And then perhaps you catch the Lion King show and maybe grab some lunch before heading over to Hollywood Studios for all of those lovely stacked afternoon Lightning Lanes. So that's basically it. That's stacking. Let us know in the comments down below if stacking's something you're going to be taking advantage of on your next trip. And now that you're done here, YouTube thinks you might like this video next. Maybe go check that out next. Thanks for watching.